Nassim,
Hello.
hello, welcome back.
Thank you.
How you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling good. Still a
Yeah.
bit sniffled up, but I'm okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Well, good to have you here. So, you are going to be reviewing two cinema releases and a
Yep.
DVD release, yeah?
Yep. Of course.
Fire away.
Okay. Thank you. So it may be Halloween, but I've been told not to review, heavy films like that and just go for lighter films that the family can watch this weekend. And the first film is Jack Reacher: Never Go Back. It's another Tom Cruise film. He does action films. He does them better than anyone else, and he picks his projects really well. And Jack Reacher: Never Go Back is a sequel to, of course, Jack Reacher, which is based on a book by Lee Child. It's based about this sort of renegade military cop who's left his role in the military because of unforeseen circumstances that happened in the first film, so I don't want to spoil them for you. And all he's trying to do is basically try and clear the name of one of his friends that has also been roped up in a very similar sort of military court case. And the film is just basically him busting through gangs and trying to clear her name. And the actress that joins him for this sequel is Kobe Smulders, who people might not know the name, but they'll recognize her from The Avengers, from How I Met Your Mother, things like that. She's in a ton of stuff, and she adds a sort of another angle to this film, whereas the first film was just Tom Cruise running around by himself, and it was pretty fun actually, just him being Tom Cruise. The second film has two people to play off, and it's a lot funnier than the first film. It's very action-packed. It's directed by Edward Zwick, who you won't know him, but he's directed some of the best films ever made. He directed Blood Diamond, which is an amazing film with Leonardo DiCaprio. We're really sad about the diamond trade in Africa, and this is sort of first action heavy film, and I think he nails it. It's got great action sequences. It's a good time sink. You're not like most films. You're not going to get anything meaningful or a message or some sort of like life-changing thing out of it, but it's 2 hours of good clean action. And yeah, the story is a little bit simple, and it may not be as good as the first film, but it's a very good action film that you can sink into. And Tom Cruise, like I said, he picks his films extremely well, and he picked it again. I suspect this is going to be as popular as the first, and he'll get another sequel out of it. He loves franchises. He loves his like having a run in the box office, and it's the same with Jack Reacher. The second film, if you're not looking for a heavy action film and you want to take your family, your kids, is the Trolls movie. And everyone's thinking, how a film about trolls, those little dolls with the puffy hair, how are you going to get a film out of that? Well, they got a film out of the Smurfs. They get a film out of anything these days, and that's what Trolls is. It's not like Toy Story. It's not like Finding Nemo. You're not gonna get like a tearjerker out of this, but it's a very colourful, very vibrant film. Few jokes in there, it's kind of funny here and there, and it's mainly for the kids. It's mainly if you've got a child under 10, 5 to 10, who just want something colourful in front of their eyes so they can, just forget about, problems at home or whatever, just to go to the cinema and watch Trolls. And that's what you'll get from Trolls. It's got voices like Justin Timberlake and Gwen Stefani, so you're going to have like a sort of fun, childish, vibrant thing. If I were to compare it to anything your child watches at home, I would say it's very much like Lazy Town, where it's just, so over the top and so like childishly funny and a lot of slapstick humor. They love it. They might have loved Frozen and things like that, and Tangled and animated films like that, but I suspect they like Trolls a lot more, just because it's like watching like candy on screen. It's so colorful and so like sweet that they'll guaranteed love Trolls. The third film which is a DVD release, is the Angry Birds movie. So just like how they got a film out of a doll, they've got a film out of a game from your phone now, and it's very simple. Angry Birds. The story is basically there's an island of birds. Everyone's different. There's an angry bird who obviously the film focuses on. There's like jealous ones, little tiny, little cute ones. And one day a ship rolls up and pigs roll out. And yeah, and they've never seen any other sort of creature in this world. So when the pigs roll up, they're very hesitant whether they should trust them. And eventually it boils down to, no, you can't trust the pigs because they're pigs. And the birds have a sort of war with the pigs. And it's a lot funnier than Trolls, I can say that. So if you want to give them a comedy, then the animated comedy for children, that out of Trolls and Angry Birds, definitely Angry Birds, because it's a lot funnier. It's actually a lot more smarter than people think it is, and it's much better than it should be. it's a film based on a game, and usually video game movies don't really succeed all that well. Like earlier this year, actually last week, because I wasn't here, I would have talked about Warcraft, which is a film based on a video game that wasn't as good, where it's just visual effects everywhere and there's no story. Angry Birds is even worse than that. It's a film based on a mobile game, for God's sake, and it's a lot more, a lot more story to it, a lot more action and a lot more comedy. And you've got comedians in there like Jason Sudeikis, whose voice you'll recognize from Horrible Bosses and things like that, and you get that sort of natural sort of bravado and comedy from it. So the three films for this week, you got Jack Reacher, which is the cinema release, Jack Reacher Never Go Back, action-packed. If you're looking for an action film, just to sink 2 hours into and watch Tom Cruise be Tom Cruise, and it's Jack Reacher Never Go Back. Second film is Trolls. So if you've got a very young child who just wants to watch something and just like forget that 2 hours have happened, just watch something colourful happen on screen, then definitely Trolls. And the third film, which is the DVD release, is Angry Birds movie. It's it's a film based on a game, so you're not going to get much out of it, but it's funnier than the other two movies in the list. And if you've got an older child who's 8 to 10, maybe even 12, and they just want to watch something that's not mainly as challenging as Toy Story or Finding Nemo, but not as low common denominator as Trolls, then definitely the Angry Birds movie. So those are the three films this week.
Wow. So that must have been fun for you this week, watching those.
Well, I got some fun with the first film, but the last two, because they're not targeting me, obviously. But I understand that there's kids out there that obviously need to watch. Well,
it's a good half-term.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. That's why they're all being released now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's horror films being released because it is Halloween coming up, but it's still a week away from Halloween, and these are the sort of films that the family are taking the kids to watch before the horror films come out.
Right. And so you're saying really that the Angry Birds is better than Trolls?
Yeah, it definitely is. But if you're taking your kids and you want to go to the cinema, then you have no choice but to go for Trolls, because the Angry Birds movie is a DVD release. But definitely between those two for the kids.
Well, thank you for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
And I'll see you next week.
I'll see you next week.